Lou can be broken down into two parts: a long and suspenseful chase through a torrential downpour on rough terrain filled with deadly hazards, and a beautiful showdown match between a deranged psychopath and a hardened old woman. It's 90% thriller and 10% action. Hello and welcome to my channel. Here I review new movies and television shows and release a new review every day from Monday to Friday. Today I'm going over Lou. It's directed by Anna Forrester and written by Maggie Cohen and Jack Stanley. As a film, Lou feels like a low-budget Equalizer or Taken. The story is predictable and easy to follow and serves as a vehicle for the action, while the fight scenes are brutal and represent a more realistic style of fighting. They use everything around them as a weapon, including the environment. It's a joy to watch these scenes. I just wish there was more of them. Enough about that. Let's jump into the plot. We start off in rural United States with Lou, played by Allison Janney. She is a mysterious old woman who digs up boxes full of cash and hunts deer with her dog and her trusty rifle. Lou rents a place to Hannah, played by Jurnee Smollett, and her daughter V. A storm rolls into town and a dangerous hitchhiker with it. The hitchhiker, played by Logan Marshall Green, kidnaps V in the middle of the night. Due to the storm, Hannah can't get through to the authorities, so she goes to Lou for help. When Lou hears what's happened, she grabs her rifle and calls her dog Jax. The three of them head out into the forest to hunt the kidnapper. They face harsh weather and a hazardous journey to rescue the young girl. Allison Janney is great at both the physical and emotional aspects of the role, and she nails the cantankerous old soldier archetype. She's like Mallory Archer, but a slightly better person. Logan Marshall Green does a great job of unraveling his character both literally and metaphorically. At the start of the film, he appears calm and collected, but as he runs into snags, we see his temper flare and start to show through. By the end, he's a ball of psychotic rage waiting to explode. The story is very simple, and it doesn't go too deep into the topics that it's covering. There's just enough dialogue and environmental storytelling to give you an idea of what's going on, but it never really delves into the emotions underneath. The dialogue is sparse, and Lou takes every opportunity to make a joke rather than actually talk about anything. Her constant deflection makes sense from her character's perspective, but it makes deciphering the story a lot more difficult. The characters are rather flat, and primarily display only one major character trait. It's fine for this story, but it makes the characters feel a lot more like archetypes than actual people. Lou uses sound in a fascinating way. It uses rain to fill the majority of the silence in the first half of the film. It gives this amazing atmospheric effect that seeps into everything. Their steps are soggy, we can hear water sloshing in their boots, and the rain is constantly drowning out all other sounds. When the rain finally lets up, we get this almost eerie silence that's accompanied by a big reveal. The rain isn't the only sound-based narrative used in the film. V's cassette player also serves a rather unique purpose. V's cassette player serves as a respite for the first half of Lou. The constant monotonous rain can be a little maddening, so the filmmakers tossed in a few original songs with the explanation that V is listening to them on her journey. So when the battery dies, it's a big change for both V and us as the audience. For the first time in the film, V starts to clue into what's happening, and we get this fantastic little scene where the music cuts, and together with V, we hear the hitchhiker's facade crumble. Visually, this film has two major talking points: the fight scenes and the scenery. Most of the film takes place outside, in a forest, on a beach, and inside and outside of an abandoned lighthouse. The nature shots are beautiful, and they come one after another. Every few minutes, another gorgeous shot makes it onto the screen. The fight scenes are few and far between, but each of them looks gorgeous. I really enjoyed the final fight and how cinematic they tried to be with it. The waves crash into the shore around Lou and the hitchhiker, while the sound of the waves drowns out the sound of their battle. It's a very interesting fight to watch because it feels more like it's about the emotions being let loose than any of the actual damage done. I liked Lou, and the visuals, soundtrack, and acting all line up with what I expect from this type of film. But the story doesn't. The emotions and motivations don't make sense, and much of the backstory kind of feels needless. It's worth watching for the action scenes and the scenery, just don't expect some grand narrative. 7 out of 10.